Okie dokie. Here we go on Monday. This is not my podcast. Maybe Adam should be leading. I don't know.
Yeah.
This is John Von Tobel's podcast with Adam Hill. John has the night off. I'm not smarter than you, so I'm not sure why I'm on here, but, desperate times. I'll fill in. So I actually just caught Adam behind the scenes. I was like, wait, you're doing this from home? But this will be, I feel like this is the last night of the week at 10:30 that you'll be at home.
Yeah, there's a good chance. For sure. Especially depending, like a lot of my schedule will depend on what UNLV is doing and what they've done. But for the most part, yeah, I'll be living at the Thomas and Mack. I can pretty much just move in over there at the arena. So there'll still be plenty of snark.
I was going to say, don't you guys love the snark? There could be like one-way snark. I'll give a little snark.
Yeah.
But it is a double dose of snark. It is very snarky.
That's our mission, our goal. I mean, we say it right in the top. We're smarter than you.
Like I've reported, or I've told you guys that I've had people say, man, that podcast, like with some critiques, and you guys are like, come on.
Yeah.
Like that's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Smarter than you. Don't question us.
It's the Levitard theory, right? You don't get the show.
Yeah. By the way, I completely forgot to mention this on the air today. International Women's Day.
So two guys will tell you how important International Women's Day is.
Well, we don't have to do it right now, but I got to be honest with you. One of the topics I want to hit tonight is Les Miles. So I'm not sure that it's going to be like. I think I might want to push back a little bit. I'm not. I don't know. It's like we're in a weird zone. But anyway, speaking of the ladies, you cover the Lady Rebels tonight, right?
Oh yeah.
Come on, what happened?
Not a good season for those that if you are a lot of our watchers and viewers and listeners are local, but not everybody. So, and even locals maybe not paying a whole lot of attention to what the Lady Rebels are doing. But first year coach Lindy LaRock, a Las Vegas institution. Her dad, longtime high school coach and AAU coach around here. Al LaRock, she was a tremendous player at Stanford. Believe played in 4 Final Fours, if I'm not mistaken, in 4 years at Stanford. Has been a really, really, really good assistant coach the last 7 years. A couple different stops for her, and now she took over the program this year, and they were picked to finish close to the bottom, 9th place in the Mountain West. Had a ridiculously good season. They went undefeated on the road this year, 9-0, second seed in the tournament. A lot of hope, and in fact, one of the reasons I was assigned to kind of cover this team was, hey, might very well be covering an NCAA tournament team and have to travel on the road and cover the tournament. And they got trounced tonight, just trounced. It was
Brady. Do you do it, or do you prompt it, or do I do it? What do we do here?
What?
Well, I mean, NFL.
Oh, yeah.
MMA.
I think even MLB, NBA.
NFL, NBA, MLB, NHL, MMA. Hold on. Come back in the shot. Women's college basketball. All right, so it's above the fold. It's above MMA.
I mean, you might be generous just because it's International Women's Day, so maybe I'm trying
to be friendly at the beginning of the show when I might defend Les Miles tonight. So my International Day, Women's Day, good vibes could go bye-bye.
I think
God dang it, I'm pissed. I was really hoping they'd make a run.
So was I.
I got to tell you, I'm really feeling for DRF right now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think you could say this hire kind of worked. I mean,
no, it did, but it would have been nice. It would have been like a very nice distraction. If they had at least made like the Mountain West Conference Finals, something. And believe me, there's plenty of feathers in the cap of DRF, but the bread-winning sports right now. Yikes.
Well, Lady Rebels have never won the Mountain West tournament. They've now lost their first game in the tournament 4 straight years, and I believe they've been the better seeded team all 4 years. Kathy Olivier was the coach. We love KO. She was awesome. But she moves on. I think Lindy LaRock is going to have a tremendous program here at UNLV. In fact, I should actually say this. I don't think she's going to have a very long stay at UNLV. She is definitely going to get a massive job at some point. There's almost no question.
I love that when UNLV gets someone good, then it's like, okay, well, not gonna be here long.
Well, but I think people like take that almost the wrong. Like she's going to be one of the top coaches in the country in my mind. Today kind of got taught a lesson today, I guess. But
yeah, I mean, you could be like some schools and have enough backing with a hometown lady where her salary can be. You can fend off some of the really big time schools. My school's done that. My school's done that over the years. Vivian Stringer, she's been around forever. I've paid her a lot of money for a long time. It's worked out well.
Yeah, is she still there?
She is still there. They actually had a good season this year in the shortened season. I think they finished second or third in the Big Ten. But yeah, it's been a weird run. Look at that. That is what a unique frozen face for Adam. Oh, he froze for a second there. He was actually smiling. No, you froze for a second.
Oh, because BYU hit a 3. That's probably why.
Oh no. CJ Cards fan says he went to high school with Lindy. Awesome person, and will be a top NCAA coach in no time. Okay.
Yeah, she had some points tonight. They just got it was unbelievable the threes that were going in for Wyoming tonight. And Wyoming's not really a great 3-point shooting team. They only made 5 the whole game last night in winning in the first round. And they couldn't miss tonight. 15 of 32, I believe they finished.
Oh, come on.
And,
really?
And most of those were like late in the shot clock. Not that they were bad shots always, but they were getting up, right at the end of the shot clock. You play defense for 30 seconds, make a 3. It's just it's debilitating for a defense. And then it was kind of affecting their offense because as Lindy and one of the players for the game, like now you're trying to match it because you're so angry. Worked 30 seconds off the shot clock and they made a 3, trying to make up in one mission. It's not really working out, and UNLV made a couple of runs, just couldn't come through. So, but like some of the things that that she pointed out, God, you would love this one, because you like to tell the story when we have played basketball in the past, and we had a guy that was just shooting from like 50 feet and making them, and I'm like, I'm not covering him out there. The percentages are ridiculous. He's not making them.
That was a different Paulie. Paulie was kind of a sports book rat type, not a bad guy, but just hung around Stardust. Was it Stardust?
Oh yeah.
Hung around the Stardust book all the time, and he had all these crazy theories on the gambling gods. But he said he played basketball. He comes out with us, and he's a pretty decent sized guy, right? He's probably like 6'1", 6'2" now.
Yeah.
But giant gut, couldn't move more than like 4 foot out of his local circle. But I don't know. It's weird, man. The guy could hit 23-footers.
Yeah. Well, he was hitting like 40-footers that day. Like, you're not going to cover that. It was like Damian Lillard in the All-Star game. Like you're not covering a guy at mid-court. I don't care if he makes 3 in a row. You're not covering him. But tonight, Wyoming had a girl that made 4, and Lindy after the game, and which we were talking about, like, well, is it a defensive breakdown or was it just making good shots? And she's like, "Listen, we're not covering the girl. She made 6 threes all year. Go ahead and shoot. If you make 4, you make 4. I mean, what do you want us to do?" She's like, I'm about analytics. I'm not going to go cover her. And so
is that how she said it?
Essentially, yeah. There was definitely some salt.
All right, I don't want to make a comment on the quote you just gave me without seeing it myself.
Okay.
No, because I just thought if.
Oh, she said credit to her. She made her shots, but
no, but no, I'm not going to say it because I don't trust you that you're relaying it. I think that's how you think. I don't think she said it in that callous fashion.
No, she said. I mean, of course, I did it in my own style, but she said, listen, that's a girl that made 6 threes all year. Now I looked it up. I think she had made 13, but she's like, she's made 6 threes all year. Like, we're not worried about her. We're playing off of her because she's made 6 threes all year. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Can you imagine if Otzelberger said that about the opposition?
But as she said, she's like, I coach by math. I coach by analytics. Like, that's what we're going to do.
Dude, but that doesn't, because the men's team had so many games. I mean, there were so many games where guys went out and they were poor shooters, and you're like, what is going on here? You were sitting there for Fresno, right? It was the first half of both games. They came in shooting 30%.
Yeah.
They shot 50 in both of the first halves.
Yeah, it was nuts.
Like, who was the I'm trying to think. In game one, there was a guy who came in at 22%, and he started out 3 for 3.
It's unbelievable. Sometimes you're just like, okay. I mean, it's true, and I know, it frustrates fans and it frustrates a lot of people to do that. But like, there is a strategy, there is a game plan, and I think you go in and say, hey, if that guy wants to shoot, let him shoot. If you make him like, hey, you can't cover everything. So there is that aspect. But Lindy said, hey, I'm gonna continue to coach on math, and that's what happened. And she's right. 6 different Wyoming players made a 3 today. They made 5 total in the first round.
That's tough.
Yeah.
San Antonio is where you would have gone?
Where I would have gone?
Yeah, NCAA tournament. Women's.
Oh, I don't know if we actually would have gone. I think I might have been covering it from home, but
you would have had to go. If you're allowed to.
Well, like I said today, if you're traveling, like I was at the Mountain West today. I think there was a total of 5 reporters there.
Right.
We'll see what it's like for the men on Wednesday, but really, there's really no reason to travel here. There's none.
Well, you want to explain the Mountain West Conference rules, which I guess did they just release these on Sunday or Saturday? I haven't even seen them yet.
I mean, I got them today.
Okay, so you found out what? Are you allowed to cover every single game?
Yes, but from the media room, basically.
Oh my God!
But I think I'm going to be out there all the time because there's enough seats. Like I said, I don't think a lot of people are making the trip. So, but you're right. There's a media section, and you can sit out there for your team's game that you're covering. Now, technically, we're covering every game, so I think we can sit out there for every game. But you're supposed to technically watch the game you're covering. So I should be out there for UNLV and then back in the media room afterwards, and everything's on Zoom.
But hold on a second. For the women's tournament where there's almost no media there, the arena holds 17,509.
Yeah.
Okay, it might be scaled down. By the way, did they put up? I haven't been out there yet. Did they put up the black barriers around the court?
Yep.
They did that too?
Yeah, yep.
The Sarah Camard barriers?
Yeah, it's set up the same way it would be for a regular Mountain West tournament.
There's no fans.
I know. It was actually one of the first things I looked for. It was kind of funny.
The black barriers are out there.
Oh, yeah, they're up.
Oh, my God. Yeah, so here's the thing, not to go too deep on media because, hey, whatever. We're happy to be in the building. They're only allowing access for that team's media in the arena. And then the rest of the time you're to sit in the media room underneath, I guess, Cox Pavilion. It's a little weird.
No, it's not there.
Where is it?
It's the Cy Red room.
Wow. Okay.
Which was actually awesome because I didn't realize how easy the access was from the Cy Red room to where our media section is now at Thomas and Mack.
Right.
It's literally right there.
Right.
You just walk right in. If you walk through there's a little opening in the stands. You just walk in, walk out, walk in. It's really easy access to out on the court. So it's pretty cool.
All right. Well,
and somebody's asking about testing. There's no testing.
No,
you're not near anybody or anything. West Coast Conference I've been covering all week also. Kind of a similar setup. You go in a different entrance than the players, coaches, and tier 1 is all the people that are tested. That's the players, coaches, and managers, and people that are actually with the traveling party. They go in one door, and then the other door is for anybody else that's there, which is basically just media. And the media goes straight to the club level and sits in suites and covers it from up there, which is a pretty good setup. But I will also say, like on a kind of funny sidebar, there's a lot of people that get credentialed for that tournament, obviously because of Gonzaga. So scouts and NBA personnel and media from around the country, and so they're all credentialed. So they kind of expect them, even though they don't. It's the same every year. All these people are credentialed, but they don't show up till Monday. But for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, they literally set up enough food for like 250 people. It was hilarious, and it's like it's buffet style, but it's like toast. There's a person that serves it.
Yeah,
and I just kept looking in there like these poor people. Yeah, this just sucks. They're just standing there all night with nothing to do. I guess it's good they're working.
Wow. So you would say the Mountain West Conference lagging a bit behind the West Coast Conference in terms of food?
Oh, well, Mountain West is having none, which is fine. I mean, there's no reason to. I thought the West Coast, it was ridiculous that the West Coast was doing that. Like, why?
And you didn't go out to the Pac-12 women, right?
No.
Did we get in? You know what? I forgot to ask. It looked like they had some kind of lounge that almost like was outside. I don't know how they would do that. I thought Willie took a picture outside.
Yeah, a couple of people did. It's outside Mandalay Bay, looking like right across I-15 to Allegiant Stadium.
Oh wow.
So
I mean, I'm assuming you're very fired up for the Pac-12 and the food, so you can make your salad.
I don't know. They're not going to have a salad bar.
Oh, that's a good point. There's no salad.
Of course not.
So the dynamic duo of Mike Grimala and Bill Frieder, you don't get to watch either one of them make a salad.
Yeah, it's rough.
No, the Mountain West is still catching up.
I don't think it's about money.
No, it's not safe.
You know what I'm saying, like, it's not safe. That's why, like, it was. Listen, it looks safe at the Orleans because it's two people that are. Hey, you go up to like the buffet thing, and you're like, give me that, or I'd like that, and they put it on your plate. But there's no reason to have that. Like, just let people bring their own food. Like, don't do this. You don't need to provide food for media. Like, it's a nice thing, but even though I know some media people only go to get free food, which is ridiculous too.
Do you feel like this week is going to suck, or the action will overcome all the weird protocols?
I mean, the games are great. I feel like. I mean, I'm excited to watch the games, but it is going to be weird. Like, part of rhymes with.
What rhymes with? Give us one person.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've talked about the season ticket loophole on here, I think, before, right? Of there are some people. God, I'm going to give this away, and people on here are going to do it. But there are some people that figured out that if you buy your own time on radio, you could then apply for credentials, go to all the games, and basically you're getting season tickets for free and having, a sponsor pay for your airtime. So you're basically just getting season tickets for free. It's crazy.
I don't think it's worth the money, though.
What money? You get a sponsor to pay for your airtime. So that's free, and then you're going to the games for free. And then you're getting free food. You're getting dinner all the time.
That's interesting.
Yeah. It's crazy. I'm just reading the comments, sorry.
I was
yeah, I was like, okay. What is this? Like open houses that have food at them?
Yeah, explain, man.
Yeah.
I want in. Totally want in.
But I think in terms of the tournaments this week, like there's gonna be so many great games. I don't think anything else really. The protocols and stuff, like it is what it is, and it's fine. And like I'm not concerned about it. You get to go watch the games and then do your stories. Like that's what you're there for.
Are you doing anything other than game stories? Or are you doing some? You always do some sidebars. Did you?
That's tough though.
That's a good point. Yeah, you can't do your. Well, what's going on with BYU right now?
Down 3.
Oh my God.
4:08 left.
What a disaster.
On 4. But yeah, I mean, you can't like what I do. So usually we have somebody covering every tournament, like in terms of writing game stories and actually covering the nuts and bolts of a game. And then I just go kind of wander from tournament to tournament and find like, intriguing features off the radar stuff. But you can't do it because you can't just grab usually I'll, grab an obscure player from the end of the bench or grab some kid from Las Vegas or grab, somebody. Last year, the last story I did before everything shut down was sitting in the stands and watching the Arizona game with Nico Mannion's dad, who's a former college basketball player and a Las Vegan from here in town. Just kind of watched his son's game with him, and actually, kind of a crazy moment is at the end of that interview, he goes, "Are we going to even have an NCAA tournament? Like, am I going to get to watch him in the tournament?" And I said, "I would bet no, but we'll see."
This is great.
And the next day,
you got to no. You got to give the follow up, don't you?
What's that?
Didn't his dad say something about going to school? Like why he went to school?
Yeah, to play in the NCAA tournament.
Right. Did you
Yeah.
already say that?
No, but I'm saying like that's
But
kind of what the story was.
his dad basically said like that's why he went to school.
Yeah,
He wanted to play in the tournament, and then no tournament.
yeah. And he's like, "Are we even going to get it?" And I said, "I would bet no, but we'll see." And then the next day of Pac-12 games were canceled, and then the NCAA tournament was canceled. It's crazy.
I don't understand I've never understood them because I'm not a math guy. I think they just make this shit up. The net rankings now, like BYU loses to a 13-11 Pepperdine team, they're out.
I mean,
you know why they're out? Because if any of them were actually whispering to anyone in the media that nonsense about 2 weeks ago that BYU may elect not to go to the tournament, and when that came out, I was like, what? What were the two scores again? What were the two scores against Gonzaga? Didn't they get their asses kicked both times?
I don't even know, but I'm sure that I mean, Gonzaga hasn't had a game within 10 points all year, so which is also amazing. Tonight was 22nd straight win of double digits.
BYU lost the second game at home by 11, but I think they were down bigger than that, and they kind of backdoored. And the first game, they lost 86-69. And it was the same thing. Didn't they get crushed in the first half? Yeah, they were down 52-29 at the half. Huh. How are they in?
Well, it's funny.
How are they net 19 and a 7 seed? I don't get it.
Well, it's funny because we started this, I was watching the broadcast and they were making the point, and it just kind of like it just went in one ear and out the other. I didn't even think about it. But the broad saying, Pepperdine wants a chance to get a miracle berth to the tournament by somehow beating BYU and then Gonzaga. And, BYU, who has their spot locked up already, would like to, maybe get an upset that could improve their seed, but they're definitely in. And I was like, yeah, okay. And then I didn't really think that much more about it. And I was like, wait a minute. Did I?
It got super hollow. I think your mic, it went from to the computer mic instead of line in. Or your mic.
So I'll see if I can fix that. But yeah, it just kind of went one ear and out the other.
This is better. This is better. Okay. This is better.
Cool. Yeah. So yeah, I just assumed they're in. But looking at the numbers more closely, you're right. I'm like, what? Why are they automatically in? It's amazing.
Well, like I said, their net is 19. Their non-con, they beat New Orleans, Utah Valley. They beat St. John's, who's been okay. They did beat Utah State by 3. They face USC. SC has been just dreadful down the stretch here. They lost by 26 to Southern Cal. And they lost to Boise. And they beat Utah. And they did beat San Diego State, so that's a good win.
USC is really good, too.
I know USC is good. But they weren't even competitive. By 26?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
So their quality wins are against Utah State and San Diego State and and St. John's. And that's net 19. All right.
Yeah. That's all
right.
Poor Ari. Ari takes heat even when he's not around. Poor guy.
Yeah, he did catch that pretty quickly.
Yeah.
We would have done a week of shows like that with that mic all effed up.
No, and to Brady's point, no, San Diego State is guaranteed in. I think. Boise.
I think San Diego State, I think they're in 98%. I wouldn't lose in their first matchup on quarterfinal day.
Sure.
That wouldn't be good. But if they make the semis, they're in.
I think Boise, Colorado State, Utah State are all squarely on the bubble. I think they could all get in.
Today, bracketology had Boise and CSU last 4 in, and Utah State first 4 out.
Right. So they're all right there. So it's going to be a really intriguing week. I mean, of teams just fighting for position and trying to find their way in. I mean, if those 4 are in the semis, that bodes well.
It does. Obviously, they need some breaks from bigger conferences. Hopefully, in those bigger conferences, none of the bubble teams goes on runs. So,
SDSU is in. To me, they're in. I mean, sure, you could have.
I'll tell you this from at least the conferences I watch. If San Diego State's not in and they're going to let in 8, 9 Big Ten teams, I'm sorry, folks. I don't get it. Right? And don't
you're
make
saying-
people don't make the bottom of the middle of the Big Ten, the teams that are on the bubble and that are in like the 10, 11, 12 seeds. They're not great teams. They're not markedly better than San Diego State or Utah State or Boise or Colorado State. And I watch all these goddamn teams. I've had to watch Rutgers. I've enjoyed it, right? But I've watched it all year, and I'm like, these teams, they have talent, but they're not. These are not great teams. They're not head and shoulders above Colorado State or Boise. They're just not.
To be fair, I think what he's saying is no way SDSU is locked. I think there should be a period.
Okay. Yeah, but I still wanted to make my point. I'm getting a little tired of like teams are fading in some of the Power 5 or whatever. That's Power 5. Fuck it's 7, whatever they try to push it out to. Because come on, the Big East is now we're starting to see the money effect on the Big East by not having the football money. It starts to catch up with you at some point, and the new Big East essentially is half traditional Big East and then a bunch of mid majors, and it's like, oh, now they're Power 6. Like, no, they're mid majors. They're not any different than elite programs like Gonzaga or what Wichita State was or what San Diego State is now. Just because Xavier, and Creighton got into a Butler doesn't mean they're elite programs. They're still the same thing they were. They're mid majors. They're good. They're good. But they're not Power 5 schools, and the receipts say it. When you don't get football money, you're not a Power 5 conference. That's just it.
But I will say I heard one of the things I love about this time of year. And listen, my knowledge this year of college basketball is way below what it has been in the last 15 years because I could not convince myself that there was actually going to be a full season. I was like, it's going to get canceled at some point. I'm not going to get too into it. I'm not going to obsess over it all year. So I'm behind this year. But one of the things I do love at this time of year is people that haven't watched college basketball the entire season that then are like definitively making arguments. So I heard two different arguments today. One was St. John's plays in a legitimate conference, so they should be getting in over Xavier, who doesn't.
Oh.
And I was like, have you not watched games in 15 years now? You haven't been watching games? Like that's how long it's been? And then the same it was the same station, but a different argument, different person.
But I seriously, I had to go double check. I'm like, they've changed conferences a lot. I just referenced Xavier as in the Big East. I'm like, did I just fuck up or like, did I miss a joke? Wait, someone really said that?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I guess I'm capable of doing, I don't know.
But they also,
God, that is so bad.
They also said that they get very annoyed every year when like a top 25 team is an 8 seed. And it's not fair. It's ridiculous. You always see it once a year. And then he said, no top 25 team should be any more than a 4 seed. And I was like, that's only 16 teams. Like, what are you even talking about? This is insane.
Come on, dude. Who are you protecting?
I'm not protecting anybody. I'm ashamed that I listen.
National?
Oh yeah, but I'm ashamed that I listen to this station so much. But literally, you hear
Fantasy
arguments.
channel?
It's same platform. You hear arguments that bad every hour. So I'm just obsessed with listening to.
Oh, Sports Grid?
Yes.
God damn it, Sports Grid.
I'm so obsessed with that.
I touted Sports Grid to be a big replacement, a viable replacement for VSiN. Now that VSiN is doing internet radio, and Sports Grid comes on, and now they're doing fucking Xavier's not legit. St. John's isn't a legit conference. Screw Xavier.
It's so bad.
Please, you know what? I don't know the results this year. Please tell me that Xavier beat St. John's at least once head to head, and the person didn't mention that. Okay, they lost to him. They lost to him 93-84, which, by the way, that might be the red flag. If they play each other on February 16th, they might be in the same conference.
Yeah, you would think so.
And they beat them. They split. They split. They played twice in the same year.
They played in a tougher conference, though.
They split.
It's not that easy. It was a much more difficult conference schedule.
I mean, I hope people earlier realize when I was kind of cracking on Xavier and Creighton and Butler, I wasn't saying that they're less than the teams they joined to face. They've actually in a lot of ways saved the conference ass. They've been some of the best teams outside of Villanova.
Yeah.
those mid-major teams coming over have actually carried the conference.
Ooh, Villanova, poor. That's some tough luck down the stretch.
Oh my God! I know I'd still have to deal with Zaga and Baylor, but the South Point did have a bet, right? The field against Villanova, Zaga, and Baylor for the title.
Yeah.
And Nova obviously was falling apart, and then they suffer a big injury.
And then they lost another one the other day, I think. So we'll see how that kind of plays out. But yeah, it's first of all, if we think the bubble and the selection committee is weird most years, get ready for fucking Sunday. My God, it is going to be insane with all teams having different numbers of games and like all the pauses. Yeah. It's going to be crazy.
Let's say it right now. Max Mountain West Conference, even though they're sitting on the bubble right now, Max Mountain West Conference teams is?
I think they get 4.
What?
Yeah.
I'll give you plus 200 on 3. And I'm being conservative. I don't think there's any way they get 3.
Okay.
All right. Damn it. I keep making these bets quickly.
I'll take that.
Candy and I, we didn't finalize the bet, but Candy he tried to call me a mush again today. Like, dude, just tell me the bet I lost and I'll pay you. Jesus. I don't even know what we bet.
Hold on, a mush.
Not a mush. Not a mush. Yeah. I am a mush because I keep losing bets to him. No, a freaking Welsh Gunna bet.
By the way, I'm fucking furious right now. I've just been on a run of just awful, just terrible beats. It's just been fucking terrible. And including, did you watch Amanda Nunes the other night?
No.
So I had recommended everybody that asked, because I don't bet them, but I tell everyone, like, you know, this is what I would do, or this is what I would play, or this could be a good bet. And I said the value on Amanda Nunes by knockout is really good. Like, you could get plus 110 on her by knockout in that fight, because she had gone to the distance in 2 straight fights. I think people were starting to question her power. Plus, Megan Anderson is the biggest fighter that she's gone against. And I was like, you know, so you got a good number. And I was like, man, I would take her by knockout. So she lands a huge overhead right to start the fight. Anderson, like the color left her. She was a goat. She was like, oh my God, what the hell is that? And then Nunes knocks her down like 30 seconds later. She wasn't hitting her clear with all the shots, but she hit her with about 20 punches. And I was like, just stop this is over. Just stop it. And they wouldn't stop it.
My plus 115 has gone bye-bye.
Yeah, they wouldn't stop it. So she's like, all right, fine. And just submitted her. I was like, oh my God, this is incredible. Because the run has just been just weird beat after weird beat. And so I was telling you just before we went on, I had a huge bet on Pepperdine today. And I was like, okay, it's the only game I played today. I'm just gonna let it go out. I'll see what goes on. And I turned it on, and Pepperdine had like a 4-point lead early in the second half. And I was like, I've been taking such brutal beats. I'm gonna hedge out of this. I'll try to get the middle. I already got a start to this. Let me try to go for the middle here. And it was BYU minus 1.5. And I was like, okay.
Oh no.
I'll take this. I'll take it. I'll get it. And so
what's the score right now, or do I not have the latest update?
So I'm like, if they win by between 2 and 8, I win both sides. I'll be super happy.
You're good.
This is fucking great.
So what's happening right now?
They're up 71-70 with 16 seconds left. So they're up 1.
So what's going on?
It's Pepperdine ball, so it's not going to go well. What I need is a Pepperdine. I mean, I'm going to win the bigger bet on Pepperdine, but I gave away some of it by trying to get this middle because I was so terrified that I was going to lose. And now what I need is a Pepperdine miss and a foul.
So Pepperdine's got to shoot at like 8 seconds. Don't take it down to 3.
No. And if you're behind, you should shoot early. That's what you're hoping for. And I would imagine they're going to go Colby Ross. And by the way, people probably have this ahead of us, so we're going to probably see an update on the comments. I'm going to turn them off. See an update on the comments before we get an actual update here. But
I promise I will not punch it up.
Yeah, you will. Colby Ross will probably get the shot, I would imagine. I mean, he's a dynamic playmaker for them, or maybe let him penetrate and kick to somebody. We'll see what they're able to do here. But
what's going on right now? Was it
Pepperdine driving to the rim? Colby Ross blocked, missed, foul him, foul. Okay, There we go. 5.6 seconds. BYU to the line.
Who's shooting though?
Hopefully not Harms.
Wait, is there a technical foul?
No, get out of here.
All right.
Harms got the block, but I don't think he got fouled. He had the ball. Gave it up. Nice. What are we doing here? I don't even know. It's just stupid. Did you put the sound on?
And it was going nowhere fast. Excellent job by BYU. And defensive.
Am I ahead of you?
I think maybe.
Defensive player of the year stepped up in a big moment for his
They're
team.
just standing around.
To block that shot. That
Can we get a timeout here?
sends BYU into the WCC championship game.
Wait, what? Not yet.
That's for Pepperdine.
It's not over.
Left for BYU.
It's a timeout. 5.6 left.
Didn't he say that block sends BYU into the championship game? There's still 6 seconds left.
Who should be the shooter for BYU?
Yeah, they still got a 3-point shot here.
I mean, Lorenzo Romar's got to talk in case BYU doesn't use that final timeout after these.
I'll turn off the sound.
Yeah,
I'll wait
BYU's
until the
got-
action.
Yeah, BYU's got free throws coming up. So, but Harms got the block, but I don't think they fouled him. Oh, good. Johnny Smith fouled out. That's good because he's been awesome in the second half. So
Well, I mean, Brady, you do realize if I start running the game, you think we get in trouble on Twitch and YouTube for running their videos or
probably
bringing out a P funnel? It's a little shaky if I just punch up the freaking video of the game.
I love it. I mean, we're not watching the whole game. There's 5 seconds left.
We're doing popping. This is a regular thing. Listen, I pay Hulu a lot of money. I get limited rights to play-by-play.
I would love to do this during the NCAA tournament. By the way, oh my God, make the freaking free. Jesus.
Now for Pepperdine.
Let's get a replay of that.
Those obviously for
Oh
Spencer
my
Johnson.
God.
I think he's going to make the first.
No, he didn't.
He missed. I know he did.
Well, he
I know.
missed the first one. That changes things.
All right.
5.6, plenty of time to get down the floor quickly here.
The late night
Regardless if it's a make
pirate
or miss.
podcast. Get in there.
Overtime.
Second one on the way. That one's perfect. 2-point game.
Jeez,
Colby
Lord.
Ross catches. Colby Ross,
It's up for
the
three.
senior,
Nope,
across
inside the line.
midcourt. Pull-up jumper to tie. Good! At the buzzer, Colby Ross ties the game and sends us to overtime.
How about that? That is why I want the ball in the hands of the guy that's done it more than any player in your school history.
Now
He
we'll
has
stop.
scored more points. He has more assists. He makes winning plays, and this time a difficult shot. You could hear.
By the way, that you mentioned earlier, I mentioned earlier about the fans and no media there. That was the worst moment I've seen on a game time basket in my fucking life. That was terrible.
No reaction. And
There was
Colby Ross,
even like the BYU players were like, okay, and just walked up like they weren't even upset.
Colby is also he's like running around like celebrating and like gesturing to the crowd, but there's nobody there.
No crowd. His team's just like, all right, we're going overtime. Let's go. Timeout.
Oh my God. Oh, by the way, like I said, my much bigger bet is on Pepperdine +8. They're going to lose. They're going to lose the +8. That's what's going to happen. BYU is going to win by 9. It's going to be a fucking shit show.
So if
It's
Pepperdine
wonderful.
wins this, do I hedge my 50-1 bet that I made on them to win the tournament?
Pepperdine?
Yeah.
You have them?
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Talked
Yes,
about it last
of course.
50-1.
Of course you do. Got to.
I'm trying to catch up here,
That's awesome.
making sure I'm
Just
walked up.
perfect. Just perfect. Yeah.
Oh
So
my
I
god! If we, I don't know how we would do it. We need the production crew of what's his name? Who's the kicker? McAfee.
yeah.
Us watching the NCAA tournament, it would be. I don't know if it'd be entertaining. You'd laugh at us. I know that, especially
Well, I think-
Adam.
yeah. But people would have their streams going at home. You'd have your TV going and you're just watching us instead of the sound, I think. Would be great. Oh boy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
do it, man. CJ Cards fan says, "Can I vent for a second? I would have hit a 16 parlay UFC if Jan wasn't being a total idiot."
That was really stupid.
How bad was it?
I mean, really bad. Do you want me to try to send the video?
Yeah, sure.
We'll find it. Yeah, so for those
I'm
that
sure
want to watch
Mark Emmert holding a press conference tomorrow talking about taking your streams down.
that'd be a tremendous press conference. Just like
Actually,
because like Dana.
I think what we did, I just got the joke. Yeah, threatening us. He's watching us. He's watching us. He's watching me from up on the hill. I think what we did, we actually. I might have I don't know. Do I have our logo up here? No, I don't know. We were playing audio in a delay, so we were behind the game.
Yeah,
it's not legal. It's not legal, but whatever.
No, well, what they're trying to avoid, obviously, is people, streaming it here so that people don't have to watch it on television. Like nobody's gonna watch. Nobody's listening to this instead of watching on television. Like that's not gonna happen.
Now that Dana White has cleaned up UFC and the pirating problems, he's now moved on to college basketball. So,
very good.
He's outside my door right now.
That'd be amazing if that were to happen. But yeah, overtime is where underdogs go to die. By the way, so we'll see what happens here. As BYU is already up to. I'm actually going to tweet it just to jinx myself too. Why not just throw it out there?
Are you going to say underdog? This is where underdogs go to die?
Yes.
Oh, please do it. That's a great jinx. That's a Koken move.
Yep.
By the way, do you like this guy, Matt Hams?
I liked him better when he was at Purdue.
Yeah. I don't know if I like Hams hair. Sorry. It does look like
that's he from Boston?
No, he's not. Is he not is he a Dutchman? Do we not know? Do we not have
I think so, right? I mean that's a Dutch name.
Oh, your mic got jacked again.
Isn't it? It looks like it.
What, his name? Yeah, he's definitely
Did I cut off? I'm sorry. Am I back?
Yes. Matt Hams is a Dutch college basketball player.
Okay. I think I'm back now.
My microphone changed again. He was born in Amsterdam.
Okay. So that would make sense, right? Dutch?
Yep.
Like Todd Gack. It's a Dutch name.
Sure. You're big on the international players.
Yeah. There was actually one of the players for Wyoming's women's team today. It was impossible to figure out how to say it. You could have given me a million guesses, and I wouldn't have been able to figure out how to say the name.
All right, hold on. They called an offensive foul. Do you see this one on
No.
Ross? Here we go.
I was looking. It's three. It's three on him.
Yes or no?
He's had two of those called against him. Two of his foul calls have been exactly that exact same play.
That's not okay. The makeup. I mean, it was also the correct call, but anytime you see a bad offensive foul call, you're going to see a bad offensive foul call the other way. But I do think it was a legitimate call, though.
All right. Well, right there, same. Oh, he tried to fake. They just did it again.
That's what I'm saying.
They just faked their way into a foul.
If you see it on one side, you're going to see it on the other.
And it was wrong. These guys love calling these fouls, man.
Yeah, Averett got that one.
Nothing like trying to take over a game when a guy's 23 feet from the basket. Watch the acting. Oh, come on! Get out there and make this.
I love it.
By the way, why is that the fucking signal? Why is that the sign?
The fake.
Does
The
anyone
faking one?
do the fake? Do the flop sign again?
It's this.
Yeah. What is that?
Like, get up. You're supposed to stay up. Get up. You have the. I sent you the knee video, by the way, if you wanted it. But,
oh man.
See, I know it was there was a lot of questions about that from the other night about the UFC event, where the title fight ended by disqualification. Title changed hands by disqualification for the first time in UFC history. Like I said, we'll see in a second, but I think just kind of setting it up. I had so many people ask me if it was the right decision. I say it was for really, I mean, a couple reasons. It was egregious, first of all. There's no question about that. And I don't know what you can hear on the broadcast and what you can't. But I was sitting there. I could hear the ref clearly say grounded. And there was a lot of yelling of don't kick, don't knee. Because you can't kick or knee a downed opponent to the head. A lot of people thought maybe it should just be a no contest, let him keep the belt. But listen, when a foul and a violation is that egregious, like I have no problem with the disqualification call. It was ridiculous. Oh no, Mike again, or that was before. I think I might have already checked the mic.
better.
Rebound, Edwards. Pepperdine should go back
I have
ahead.
no idea what's happening.
Ross almost pushed off again.
What do you have on your board?
On my board?
Your scoreboard. What is it?
Oh, 74-74. I think BYU is going to the free throw line after a offensive rebounding foul on Pepperdine.
Yeah, because Matt Harm's absolutely. God, these guys are so bad. He's 7 foot 350. How would that guy push him to the ground like that?
Well, if you're off balance, sometimes you can.
I mean, Harms has been there for 1 year and he's doing the BYU nonsense.
What's the BYU nonsense, Steve?
Fucking flopping and complaining, and thank God the fans aren't there because what do the fans do? Every foul that's called on BYU,
What?
flip out. Every time someone touches BYU on the other side, they melt down. Why am I watching that? I don't like watching BYU games.
I don't know.
By the way, guess who's matched up against BYU in bracketology? They're a 7. Someone I'm familiar with is a 10.
What, Rutgers?
Oh yeah.
You getting in?
What?
I'm kidding.
Well, actually, if they had lost to Minnesota, I would completely accept the argument with a Big Ten tournament loss that they're out. So,
yeah,
I'm not some ridiculous homer who lacks objectivity.
You're gonna need the tournament to actually happen, right? Because Rutgers has to break their streak.
Man, Jesus Christ, please happen this year.
Could have broken last year.
Over last year.
I mean, it could have been. They could have named the field.
Where are they in the net? Yeah, they're not that good actually. Only 37. Not happy with that.
I mean, like I said, it's going to be one of the craziest. Like I would guess that most bracketologists are going to be more off this year than ever, because they usually are pretty good. I mean, it's not that complicated to figure it out. But this year, I think there's going to be teams that are like, wait, where do they come from? And they just there's like a different, a different calculation.
Just called it again.
Oh, it's offensive foul city today.
How many fucking offensive fouls are they going to call?
It's the whole overtime is
man.
The whole overtime is
flopping.
Offensive fouls and going for offensive rebounds and getting fouls called on you. So
that's the fourth offensive foul. And who's the foul in this time?
Oh, the Pepperdine was going for an offensive rebound and they called a foul on the guy.
Oh my God,
it's just unreal.
This is stupid, man.
BYU could use some diversity. Actually, Averett is definitely not the prototypical BYU student.
Now we're all just going to sit here and watch this game wherever you are. No, please, no double overtime.
No, nobody wants that for sure.
Well, I'm rooting for you, Bet.
Thank you. Well, both of them actually. I mean, like I said, ideally it has to fall between 2 and 8 for BYU victory for everything to go right. So we'll see.
BYU fans nowhere near as bad as San Diego State fans. You agree with that? I don't.
No, definitely not.
I don't really think San Diego State has that many fans outside of going to Viejas, the students. Beyond that, I don't think they really have a vocal, obnoxious, traveling fan base.
Yeah, not traveling, and I also
hundreds.
I also think people think of the show as all fans, and it's a very small percentage of what San Diego State fans are. The show, for those that don't pay that close attention, is the student section for San Diego State, which is very loud and very active on Twitter, very much into letting it be known who they are and like talking trash, that sort of thing.
I think it's literally like 5 kids.
Exactly.
In each class, so it's not like thousands and thousands of fans. BYU fans are everywhere, and actually, obviously Vegas is a gigantic home to Mormons. So when BYU's here, people turn out.
BYU shows up here at the West Coast Conference tournament. They show up here when they play UNLV in something. And man, if you really want to hear it and you really want to see it, go to a game in Provo. Go to a basketball game in Provo. It is absolutely nuts in that place. It's crazy. And it's not like the well-behaved, quiet fans that you might associate with BYU. They're a little bit out of control. Now, I will say they do cheer loudest when it's time for T-shirt giveaways and things like that. But they are very boisterous fans. You muted? I think you're muted.
I always forget that one key. Mark in New Mexico said, I'm sorry, Mark in LV said New Mexico fans are the worst.
Well, they're the methiest.
Yeah. It could be the roughest group, but they care the most.
Oh, they're passionate. No question.
It's actually why, in spite of where they are right now, New Mexico actually does have a chance to get a good coach. Because that program is backed. It's not backed by a ton of money, but it's certainly backed locally with the fans.
I still think Tim Miles is the choice. That's who I would go. That's who I would go with there.
I can call that fucking travel. He traveled before that, before he called it dipshit.
But at this point, I'm cheering for BYU if we can end it here, and to win by more than 1.5. New Mexico. I think we would have heard if Snake died, right?
I think he's still alive. I think I saw him at the last game down there. Would we have heard if he died? I mean, probably.
Maybe not during COVID times, though. Because, you wouldn't have, I think the story would have been he's not at games anymore, and nobody's at games anymore. And they weren't even allowed to practice in New Mexico, so.
Hey, Brady, can you hit Twitter and tweet at Jeff Grammer? He's probably in bed now, but we'd like an answer in the morning. Is Snake still alive? We were talking about him. We're worried.
Yeah, just checking in. Checking in our friends. The thing I noticed today at the Mountain West, because it was, obviously weird to be at the Mountain West tournament without fans. But with Wyoming playing, Barrel Guy not there.
Yeah, it's a killer.
It's tough. I was you'd expect to look over there and see he's at all the men's games, all the women's games. He's a great fan. All right, foul. Let's go. Make some free throws.
You know what's funny is I'm behind and I'm on Hulu. How about I just fast forward to catch up? I've never used a TV before.
You're a rookie. It's amateur hour.
What do you have on for time on the clock?
I think it's 14, but BYU's going to the free throw line after getting a steal.
That's what I have. All right.
Yeah. So make 2. Don't make a 3 on the other side. Can all just go home happy.
That was a pretty good steal.
Yeah, real good. With a save, better than the steal even.
Fucking terrible entry pass. The guy's 16 feet on the baseline. Why are you throwing it to him? Hey, I'm going to throw it here 16 feet from the hoop so my defender can come down and double you.
I like that me sweating out this bet became the podcast. That's what we do. We're smarter than you. I know, Marcus. I know that was going to happen. Pepperdine's going to hit a 3. No foul. Game over. Win by 1.
Yep, just leave it up there.
Total disaster.
Jinx. Do we just ignore it here and just go to the knee?
Yeah, I think so.
The Petra. How do you say his first name?
Piotr.
Yeah. I don't know, man. RJ Clifford was on with me today. I don't feel like he was saying it like that. And he works for the UFC.
Well, I go by
Piotr or Piotra or Petra.
Piotr. I go.
Okay.
I defer on all pronunciation related things to John Anik. That dude is unbelievable.
He's pretty good.
So that's my default. And when I talked to him, he said Piotr. I assume that's what he said on the air too. I don't know.
Blagojevich.
No, that's the former governor of Illinois.
Blachowicz.
I
got it.
Yeah. Although that one, I mean, you hear 1,000 different ways. Piotr. Yeah. As Brady said, Anik gets the audio. But it's not an unfair advantage. That's what he should do. And actually, they're on the it's on the website even. You can go find it. They put it on the UFC website, the fighters saying their own names. It's kind of hard to find, but it's up there. So you can get their own pronunciation and say it how they want to say it, but I know most people don't care enough.
If you had to click when you buy a pay-per-view, if you had to click on the name, one name, you're like, this is why I'm buying the pay-per-view. Could Blachowicz ever surpass like 1,000 buys just for him?
No.
All right, I got 10 seconds left. Oh, foul up top. Okay. All right.
But also,
They have
I
fouls
also
to give.
think-
Nope, bonus, double bonus. Okay.
no, they just don't want to make a 3.
So you got to make one, and you got to make one and miss one on purpose, right?
No, 10 seconds. I think you make them both and just hope they miss one on the other end.
All right.
I think so. Blachowicz should take a step forward, right? I mean, he keeps winning as an underdog. Nobody has nobody. The sports books definitely don't have any respect for him. But I imagine, next fight he might be the underdog again next fight against Teixeira. We'll find out. But yeah, I think he should, beating Adesanya, showing he's legit as the champion. He not only has the title, but he defended it. You can have the, you can still have the people that say it should be John Jones' title. If he didn't vacate it, he wouldn't have it. That's fine. But he didn't just win it. He also defended it. He defended against a breakout star. I think he should be more popular. Now, the problem that he has is he's just a really nice dude. Like, he's just a good guy. There's nothing there. He's just a guy that has a kid. He's working hard, winning fights, doesn't talk, just is super respectful. Like, there's really nothing to sell there. And, I would hope that people would get interested by that. Just like, hey, this is just a good dude. Oh, look at this 5-point win. All the night.
3. That one way off the mark. BYU has it, and the Cougars will play the Zags for the WCC championship tomorrow night.
They had to earn it, and it was a physical contest. The wear and tear of going into overtime in this late hour and then a short turnaround now to take on the number 1 team. But look, it's the 2 best teams in the West Coast Conference. It's the
All right.
So yeah, I don't know. And I mean, people here that are fans, I know a couple of people here have been saying, they watch the fights and they're fans. Like, I don't know why somebody like that can't be, fun and marketable, but they're just not. Like, there's just not anything to it. Like, I mean, Amanda Nunes is kind of like that, but she's so dominant that it's different.
Dude, she's the GOAT. Okay. Don't disrespect her.
It's true.
She is the top dog now that women have been fighting for 17 years. She's the dominant character of the 17-year period.
So, I mean, of this 4-year period for sure.
She's definitely better than Tara LaRosa.
I think so. That's fair to say.
Sorry.
I'm not going to fight you on that one.
Well, if you do a search for my name and Tara LaRosa, I won't forget, lady.
What did she say?
She got mad at me because she, when I was writing for Yahoo, there was supposedly some organization that signed her like $1 million contract, and I basically was like, no. Like, there's no way. This is ridiculous. Stop. And then she tried to shit all over me, and then I got my ultimate revenge when her and who was it, Shanna Baszler, after all that time they put in kind of building women's MMA, more Baszler than LaRosa. They go on to whatever season of Tough, and they couldn't even get in the fucking house. Like, the sport has evolved 50 years and 3 since you guys were good.
Yeah, for sure. And guys talk about that and look at yeah. No, it's just a link. Call me an asshole or something. So that's perfect. But yeah,
actually, I accused her of being a Kimbo Slice farce. It's actually kind of complimentary.
Yeah, it's true.
She didn't make it into the house. Kimbo did. Well, they put him in, but
at least Shayna went on to success. She's like a big time wrestling star now.
I mean, I don't know Tara LaRosa. Or whatever her name was. I don't care, but I just thought when whoever put out that she had signed $1 million contract, clearly it was bullshit. So just nonsense.
True. Just throwing Jeremy Stevens fights on there now. I'm turning off TV. That's all for tonight.
That's it.
I don't need to watch anything else. No, I mean I don't need to watch anything else. They threw an old UFC card up after the basketball game.
By the way, everybody, it's International Women's Day.
It is.
Celebrate Tara LaRosa.
Amanda Nunez, goat. We just said goat.
Yeah.
Oh. I should tell the listeners this because I know they're interested. Because so I was at the UFC event. We're about to watch the disqualification here, but I was sitting cage side at UFC on Saturday. A true legend of the sports world walked over to me, stood in front of me, and said, "I only have one thing to say to you. I'm a guy's guy." That's what he said.
Nice. Yep.
That was Mr. Mark Ratner.
Did you start fighting him immediately? Did you argue with him?
Yeah, of course.
Did you wag your finger at him like, Mark?
No, you're not. No, you're not a guy's guy.
Well, not by your definition. He's a great guy.
That's true. No, man's man is the awful people.
It is? I thought we straightened that out. Okay.
Yeah, Brady did already tweet at Jeff asking if Snake's still alive. That's good.
I know he did.
That's good. And I think we got tagged because it just popped up on my phone, so that's wonderful. But yeah, Mr. Ratner was definitely in on the argument for sure.
All right, good.
Well, there's only 27 minutes of International Women's Day left here. Oh, well.
But that makes me happy that Mark Ratner still listens. He did pay you a compliment the other day at the UNLV basketball game, so that he still listens a lot and he wants to come on.
What?
Well, I think I told you this, right?
No.
He said he wants to come on, and I was like, "You can come on if we can talk about one thing: Dana, Gina, and Ariel." And he was like, I'm gonna stay away from that. I was like,
pass.
"Yeah." I was like, "Well, I understand." I wasn't mad at him, but I'm like, "Okay." It was one of the. I presented to him. I was like, "Mark, come on."
He's a Hall of Famer. He can come on anytime.
Oh, I know he can. Yeah, I know he can do it. He can do it. He can do it.
He has seen a lot, by the way.
Yes, he has. There's a lot of story. He's such a nice guy. I don't even know how many of the crazy stories you could pry out of him.
Yeah. For those that don't know, Mark is about to go in the UFC Hall of Fame. He is already in the Boxing Hall of Fame. He was a longtime executive director of the Nevada Athletic Commission. He went to work for UFC as kind of their regulation guy. He makes sure, he's the one that got them regulated in New York, got it legalized in New York. But he also is a longtime college official, called a ton of college football games. He runs the clock for college basketball games all over the country. He is a legend in the sports world, especially here in Las Vegas.
Brady getting on me. He says he wants to come on, talk guy's guy, and you bring up Ariel crying to get credentialed. I by the way, I never said Ariel was crying to get credentialed. Not in this conversation specifically, no. We're busting chops. Of course, Mr. Ratner can come on anytime he wants. He is a legend.
Of course.
And he likes us. So anyone who likes us in town, it's a small collection. So and he's in a sport where, well, everyone likes Adam. So let's watch this knee. Jan Sterling set this up. So Jan has a big lead in the fight, right?
Not as big as people are making it out. So first of all, Sterling was winning on one scorecard.
No.
I actually was like, I kind of leaning to Sterling being up 2-1 through 3, but Jan had completely taken over the fight. He was clearly winning the fourth round. And I think there was nothing. What Sterling did is came out really, really, really aggressive early. And I thought he was winning the first 2 rounds, but wasn't doing any damage. But I also said to John Morgan, who was sitting next to me, and he completely agreed. We were like, Sterling's goal is to try to do everything he can to finish this in the first 2 rounds, and he's going to have nothing left later on. So even if you want to say it was a close fight, and I do think it was a close fight, Jan had taken over, and I saw nothing that Sterling was going to be able to do to turn it around in the 5th. So Jan was going to go on and win this fight. There's almost no question about that. And so if you have a downed opponent, as Sterling is here, you can't kick or knee them in the head. And what's happening is the referee tells him he's grounded, can't kick. The corner is yelling punch, punch, punch in Russian. I knew this from talking to people later that understood. And then somebody in the corner yells to knee.
Oh.
Now, that doesn't necessarily mean it's not the fighter's responsibility to know the rules, but somebody yelled at him that he could knee him, and he definitely cannot.
Do we know where is Piotr from? Is he from? He's Russian.
I think he's from Siberia.
Hmm.
I could be totally wrong on that.
I was gonna make a Putin joke about the corner.
Collusion.
We're not gonna be no. We're not gonna be needing him anymore. that corner man is gone. All right, let's watch this.
On the head here,
That's just fucking stupid. Come on.
But the crazy part
I mean,
is
there's no defending that. And now I haven't watched the reaction from Sterling, but based on the contact he made there, anyone who said that Sterling is a pussy and shouldn't have backed out, stop. He got that was a fucking great knee. That didn't graze him, did it? Did I miss something?
no.
That was a brutal knee to a downed opponent. And then, I mean, one of the guys who's ripping on him is Cody Garbrandt. TJ Dillashaw had Cody on the mind, as Brady was asking the other day, or made a reference that he's a Karen. Come on, man. I mean, I know Dillashaw wants to get back in the mix, but give me a fucking break. Look at this. This is ridiculous.
that's illegal.
Did he block it? Did he block it?
No, dude, he didn't.
Oh.
And you can hear
His left hand blocked it. His left hand blocked it. Nope.
Stop.
Did he block it? Did he block it? Nope. Block it. Block it. Block it. Block it. Block it. Nope. Nope. I can replay it 1,000.
You can, like, if we don't talk at all, you can hear the thunder. Like, sitting there in the arena, it was so loud. Like the knee to the just cracking the skull was so loud. It was awful. And listen, anybody, there was people that going after me on Twitter saying he faked it and he should win an Academy Award. Get the fuck out of here. Like, dude, that was brutal. And as you know,
Wait, across the way though, is that Jan's corner or Sterling?
that is
One guy's got his hands up.
I think that's because I'm trying to think where they were. It was right here. That's Jan's corner.
That's illegal. His knee was down.
Wow.
No, wait, that's Sterling, because where he was in the cage. No, that's Sterling's corner. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, because where he was, it was over to that side. Yeah. Dude, just unbelievable. Yeah, it was a headbutt to the knee.
It's just
yeah,
a reflex. It's just a reflex.
Anybody that said that, like, what are you doing? Now, Sterling could have kept fighting and then just got crushed. Like, I guess if people are saying that's the honorable thing to do, what the fuck does that mean? Like, no, dude, that changed.
I thought today on the show, RJ Clifford put it perfectly, because he does a show now with who does he do the show with? Freaking Smith, doesn't he?
Yeah.
What's the Nebraska guy? Yeah. No.
Oh, Anthony Smith. Yeah.
Anthony Smith. Yeah, he does a show with Anthony Smith, and didn't Anthony Smith get nailed by a Jones knee? He did.
I'm trying to remember. Yeah.
He did. And he could have done what Sterling did, and instead he fought on, and like Anthony Smith has said, like, I really wasn't the same after that. So you get a title fight, and someone does that, then fight another day. Be the champion. RJ was also pointing out, like, it changes everything about your life in terms of your deal, right?
Yeah.
You're going to get at least one, pay-per-view fighter. Well, I would assume you get pay-per-view fight as a champion. You're going to get some points. So it's not a cheap way out, but if you are diminished by 5%, then you have the right to get out. That's why I've never understood when guys get freaking brutally kicked in the groin and they're down for like a minute and a half and fans are like, come on, let's go. Like, fuck off. All right. I got 5 minutes. I will sit here all 5 minutes and then I'm still not going to be 100% when I get up.
But the outrage today, and for those that didn't watch it, like that process took like 10 minutes to kind of sort through. The doctor was checking him out. They were trying to figure out what to do. They announced it as a disqualification, and Aljamain left the belt in the cage. He didn't take it with him.
Right.
Because he's like, this is whatever. I know that his corner picked it up. I'm actually, pretty close to one of his cornermen. They picked it up. They're like, he's going to want this, of course. So they brought it. And then the outrage today was that he posted a picture on Instagram with the belt. But, like, he's the champion. Well, he's allowed to do that. That's his right. Like, you might not like how he got it, but he is the champion. So, he's going to have another shot. They're going to fight again, and he's going to have to win to keep the belt. But for right now, he's the champ. There's no problem with him posting that. It's not like he's bragging about it. It's like, I am the champion. This is not how I wanted it, but I have the belt, so I'm gonna be the champion for now.
Oh yeah, you remember this, right?
Yeah.
Like, hey man, put your hands down. Especially after drilling me with your head and driving with your head the whole fight, you put your hands down. It was dirty, but don't put your hands down.
Yeah. Well, and as far as officiating, yeah, but you got to wait and see what he could have just called it off.
See you, Cam. Sorry, man. We know you're going to sleep. Sorry, dude. A lot of UFC tonight. I know. Yeah. See you. We'll see you tomorrow night.
Yeah, he could have just called it off right away, but he wanted to wait and see what was going on with Aljamain. He wanted to, make sure he couldn't continue. He wanted the doctor's opinion on it, and then he wanted to. I think he reviewed with the commission, like, hey, what are we going to do? Is this a no contest? Is this a disqualification? Like, what is this? People are, complaining about, it should be a no contest, not a disqualification. I mean, I think if you in a situation where it's that egregious, I think it's tough to go no contest because there are ways, like, you could be in a bad spot, like you're ahead on the cards, but you're fading. You have nothing left. Do something like that on purpose. Like, let's go to the scorecards. What do we have? And I won because it's not a no contest. I guess I don't know. There's a lot of complexities to it, and I'm talking myself through it right now and trying to figure it out. But I just think when it's that egregious, you need to call it a disqualification. Like, there's no justification for that. There's no ambiguity. I know that one of the reporters, one of the legacy reporters, we'll call him, took a lot of shit in the post fight because he said to Dana, "Do you think that knee was intentional?" Like, yes, of course it's intentional. Now, I think what he meant by that is, like, do you think he was well aware that was the rule and he still did it anyway? I think he was trying to get somewhere with the question, but I know he took a lot of heat for asking it that way. Like, Dana just went after him. Like, do I think it was intentional? No, he tripped and his knee fell into him. Like, what do you mean is it intentional? Of course it was.
There are cases where we're not on point. Media members, sometimes we're distracted.
Sure.
Sometimes questions don't come out, the perfect way. So
yeah. No.
Distractions.
Yeah.
Changes in life.
Yeah. Anything could be going on.
Right.
With anybody there. Yeah. Yes, that's actually a good question to LVMN.
That is a great.
Yeah, if there's a rule against, you can't knee or kick a downed opponent.
Yep.
So if they're down, if they have a knee down on the ground, you can't kick or knee them to the head. And
it's weird. And by the way, it's weird. It's weird too. You'll see guys who are stuck in a front choke, right? Like doubled over. Here's their legs, here's their body. I'm quite good with the words and the actions. But if they're standing and they don't want to get kneed in the gut, then they could actually go down to a knee to prevent. They can still get kneed in the gut, but it's very risky at that point because you can hit them in the face.
Yeah, for sure. And they've kind of modified the rules a little bit to more clearly define what a downed opponent is. But the thing on that is, as we're watching that clip there, the referee said, and listen, I'm sitting cage side, and I heard him from there, so I know Jan heard him. Maybe he could claim that he doesn't understand English, but he said he's downed, no knee. So it's not like there was some ambiguity there for what was going on. Like, he knew or should have known that you can't do that, and you should know the rules anyway when you're fighting. I mean, that's pretty clear. But yeah, that was brutal, and I have zero thought in my mind that was any kind of acting by Aljamain Sterling. That was a brutal knee to the head. Also, Jan did try some illegal strikes earlier in the fight, which, since they missed, like, they weren't really talked about. But there was some questionable strikes that he was throwing. He was trying to axe kick. Like, Sterling was on his back with his legs up, leg kicking against Jan, who was trying to get inside and go to the ground. And he tried an axe kick to the head, which is highly illegal when you're on your back. And he tried anyway, but he missed, so there wasn't really much talk about it. But it wasn't like that was the first illegal strike he had attempted in the fight.
So we have a very busy week ahead. I think we're going to have a lot of topics to get to, and I think this one will be kind of swallowed up. But I just want to talk through it for a couple of minutes and probably say stuff that people are going to jump on. Are we allowed to have at least a conversation about Les Miles? Like what he did? Because I kind of feel like now we're just expected to be like, scumbag, fired. Like, wait. These are male-female relations. There is interpretation. There are levels. Am I off to a bad start?
Yes, but keep going. I like it. It's also International Women's Day.
Where did I go wrong? There are levels?
No, I agree with you, but I'm saying there will be people that think you're off to a bad start.
All right, this is... Fill me in the chat room if there's been more stuff that's come out. So anyway, Les Miles is gone from Kansas. He had allegations that go back to LSU. Now, there's disturbing stuff at LSU that they had a 2013 internal investigation, and out of that, the AD at the time said he probably needs to go, and he got overruled. So LSU made a determination that the guy had gone over the line, and then because it's the SEC and I don't know, outside of Vandy, I don't want to smear all the schools, but anyway, football comes first, and Les Miles was a big-time winner. Have you seen details on the allegations? And is that not even a conversation? Like, it doesn't matter. It's inappropriate. Inappropriate is like, that's a coverall. Can we ask more or not?
I think it matters. Yeah, I do think it matters, and I think there's enough subtlety and ambiguity to it,
Right?
That it is worth a conversation. Like this is not like rape allegations. Like when you said there's levels, like there is levels, and like kissed a female student. Okay, was it like an aggressive act that she wasn't welcoming, or was some girl like, hey, that's the football coach, I want to get with him? I don't know. Like I don't know what that is. And does that matter? Yeah, it kind of does. I think there'd be some argument that it'd be like a, professor-student relationship, but I don't really buy into that.
It was actually will Les have to do a press conference in the neck brace a la Bowden. It was actually Bobby Petrino. Yeah. But Les would have to get into like a fucking accident, and that's why Petrino was wearing the neck brace.
Right.
Yeah, Petrino's deal was very, very weird too. I mean, what we've seen so far in some of these stories is investigation at the school accused Les Miles of inappropriate behavior towards female students, including allegations that he contacted some via Facebook and text, met them off campus alone, and kissed at least one of them. The report did not find that he had sexual relationships with any of the women. Miles denied kissing the student, saying he didn't do anything wrong. This part's stupid. And then he was mentoring young women at the university. I don't know why you would throw that in there. And Kansas thinks it has just cause, so they talk to Miles, and Miles is going to walk. Again, am I wrong for wanting more information here? Like, there's got to be a lot more, right? There has to be.
Yeah, there's a lot more. They haven't won a game.
Well, no, I mean with the allegations. Come on.
No, but Steve, if they were winning games, this wouldn't have happened. So it does matter.
Yeah, they're not winning games.
It didn't happen. It happened at LSU. Like these things were happening at LSU, and they were like, "He's winning. We're fine.
Yeah.
We're not doing anything." And the AD is saying, "You have to fire him. Like you have to fire this guy. It's out of control. He's winning." But it's a problem when you're losing.
Yeah, what was this whole thing? He was he requested that attractive females were around for what? Recruits or alums too?
I think it's both, but I mean, the recruits thing is, by the way, you want to look into any college in America on this one? Like they have recruiting hosts on campus everywhere. Yeah. They're not the ugliest girls on campus.
This is what I'm getting at. Because I'm thinking of the average workplace. Like I thought some of the Cuomo stuff was interesting last week when one of the women made was making her claims that he was a creep. And she said it felt like he wanted to sleep with me. And I was like, wait, we're basing this stuff on how it felt.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, not to throw anyone under the bus, but I mean, we probably all work with a guy or two where you're like, dude, stop looking at that woman. She probably feels like you want to sleep with her.
Of course. By the way, I would say it's usually true.
Yeah.
And I don't really think there's a problem with that. It's actions that matter. And
do you think based on how a good number of guys operated in the workplace up until, I'm not saying it's all cleaned up, but until like the last 3 years when it started to get intense and women did start to push back, do you think making runs at women at the workplace to where it got inappropriate, could you wipe out a quarter of the male workforce? Would it be 15%? Would it be 10?
I mean, the instant thought of my mind was like 85.
Okay. Is it good to sample our show?
I'm not just saying our show.
No, but I'm as a small sample.
Maybe.
I'm dealing with the basic premise of like what Les Miles did. I think what Les Miles did was probably a lot more serious, and we're not getting all the details. What we're seeing on the surface, and yeah, it's an older coach. He's using his power to make a run at women. They could be intimidated. He's setting up a weird, eggshell-like environment for women to work around the sports department. I get that could all be possible, but I'm just talking in the normal workplace, where up until about probably 3, 4, 5 years ago, I think a lot of people went to work. Some guys did, thinking like, hey, you know what? Women are fair game. Maybe I can meet my wife or girlfriend here. I mean, inter-office relationships are not, they were not strange. I don't know what they are now because we can't see each other anymore. I just wonder how many guys could fall under the header of, hey, you inappropriately made a run at a woman, or you did it multiple times. Because I know I'm not giving names, but over the years, I could probably come up with 10 guys that I've worked with in the last 15 years where I'm like, that guy kind of did that, like said stuff that was weird. But under the header of like maybe he thought he was being playful, or hey, this is how I can meet a woman at the workplace.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right.
You think it could be 85% of? Are you going to do it by age? Are you going to have an age cutoff?
I think
do guys get it now more than they used to, or not?
If we're talking about if we're talking about he made me feel like he wanted to sleep with me, that's the one I'm going with. Like, yeah, I mean, if you sit at a workplace, and I'm not going to, I was about to mention a workplace. If you sit at a workplace, like, I don't know, I don't want to get specific, so I'm just going to stop. But yeah, like, you have a pretty receptionist. Every employee that walks in during the day is like, oh, hey, how you doing today? And she's like, oh, I felt like you want to sleep with me. Yeah, you did.
I mean,
it's true.
Well, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know what a guy has to say where then it gets kind of creepy.
That's what I'm saying.
And frankly, I don't know, because I don't talk to anyone at the office. I really haven't, beyond a few words here or there with females at the office, in years. So I talk to my boss. She's a female, so I have to talk to her. But I stay clear of anything.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's probably the best policy. And
I think it's the safest now. But what I'm saying is, Miles. So this is going back 8 years with Miles, and I'm sure it went on for years and years and years. Like, how much of the male workforce could be worked out or wiped out? It could be a significant number. So I don't think it's 85%.
Yeah, I mean, that number is lower, but I think it's still a pretty high number.
Brady was asking earlier, hold on one second, how many LBC relationships since you've been there? What do you mean? How many have I witnessed?
Many.
It's all over the building.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had people, obviously people date from meeting people in the building. There are long-term relationships that develop from the building. Isn't that a normal workplace? I mean, how many at the newspaper?
We've had people dating. Well, no comment. Give it all white male staff. I would say we've had people in the LBC dating two different people in the building. That's happened. It's gotten ugly before. Those things are possible.
Was Chuck dating two different women?
Yes.
In the office at the same time?
Yes.
I don't remember the second. Who was, well, the one was a sales lady.
Yeah.
Someone on the sports staff?
No.
Promotions?
I don't think we should. I don't think we should do this.
Well, I mean, we had
somebody's going to get a rhymes with.
we had a married couple in the building, and the guy had a girlfriend like on the same side of the building as the wife.
True.
So, but you see what I'm saying? It's like it's been, I was going to say hundreds of years, whatever, in the workplace. So that, if we what's modern times, the last 100 years. Well, it's probably a little too long because women weren't in the workplace as much, but whatever. Go back 60 years. I mean, there's a lot of guys over the years where you're like, because there were some guys conditioned that was the way they were going to operate. And I'm not even sure that, I think a lot of them were creepy and it annoys the crap out of me. But I don't know. I wonder. It's interesting right now. It's interesting. So,
yeah.
See, we have to talk about this. You got to be real careful.
Yeah, of course.
And I'm sure if we were having the discussion on terrestrial, there'd be some women who are like, you guys are ridiculous. I'm just trying to learn, man.
Yeah, because nobody's advocating for anything that's truly inappropriate.
No. And you know what? I've said many times it does. I've been bothered by people in the office. I'm like, guys.
Well, like the question is,
you're like, whatever you're trying is not working. It's inappropriate. You're making the other person feel comfortable or uncomfortable. Like whatever you think you're doing here is just, it ain't working and it's over the line. Cut it out.
Yeah, like truly inappropriate behavior is not acceptable in any regard. And we know that. We're talking about that. We're saying it's like the Les Miles situation. If there was a girl that he was working with and she was like, into him and like talking to him and he's like, oh, hey, what's up? And like, we should go hang out. And she's like, oh, now it's inappropriate. He asked me out. Like, okay. Like, is that bad? Is that inappropriate? Like, that's the kind of questions that we're like, okay, like now there's a debate that needs to be had, but you can't, because when you start to bring it up, it all comes down on the, some of the actual creeps out there. Like, no, that's not there is a line of, okay, that's obviously wrong. And there's not even worth debating. It's not worth talking about because it's just gross and wrong and awful. But then there is that area that's blurry and there's nothing defined and nobody really knows what the answers are there.
Man, how many
if somebody has power over somebody,
yeah,
then nothing should happen. Like that's a bad spot.
But I wonder how many since like, I don't know, go back like 40 years since 1980. How many Division I football coaches and Division I men's basketball coaches had side pieces on campus and made runs at other women to fill that role?
Sure.
I think people would be shocked how many powerful dudes had other women that they were juggling. Shocked. And how many they made a run at. So, like Les Miles, Petrino, tip of the freaking iceberg. By the way, interesting note. How many times you read, oh, this search firm is fucking stupid. What a waste of money. Kansas did not use a search firm because the AD Long with Miles, they go back to Michigan. Would a search firm have found out at LSU, at least whispers that Miles was in trouble back in 2013? And would that be worth the money? Do you think LSU wouldn't have been able to hide that, or someone would have squealed to a search firm that Les has a little problem with younger women?
I mean, it was known. People knew it.
Do you think there's a chance the AD at Kansas had heard about it and he's like, no one will find out? Just say yes.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Just say yes. Yes. Uh-oh.
Well, how desperate has Kansas been to have any success in football? And they were just hoping, like, okay, let's just win some games. Maybe we'll win before anybody finds out.
It's crazy, man. Did you see the early candidate list for Kansas football?
No.
One of the names on the list is Jay Norvell.
Okay.
If you were Jay Norvell, what would you have to get from Kansas to leave Reno? I guess chat room, go ahead. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of smart ass answers. I would leave in a heartbeat.
Well, it's going to be a lot of money anyway, but it would be about guaranteed years is what it would be.
And the buyout, if I'm Norvell, the buyout is going to be outrageous.
Yeah. Yeah.
They are over a barrel.
Yeah.
Miles sucked. I don't know. I don't follow Kansas football. I don't know if they've had any recruiting. Like if he had built any sort of base there and hey, winning was right around the corner. I mean, no flight out of Reno should cover it. Norvell, I don't know what he makes right now. I'm guessing 800, something like that. If they jumped him to over triple. Actually, you know what? In the Big 12, they probably should do more than that. $3 million a year from $800K. Do you go?
I mean, if it's 5 years guaranteed,
yeah,
and yeah, then yes.
Okay.
I'm going to get paid my money whether I win or not.
Don't you think he's in line? If they have another winning season, don't you think he's in line for a pretty good job? Not one that has failed to win 3 games since I think the last decade. They haven't won more than 3 games in a season.
Sure, but what if you don't? Well, sure, you believe you're going to, but if you can give me $3 million guaranteed right now for the next 5 years, and I believe in myself, I'll go do it. I mean, you're gonna have a little bit of time. There's no real pressure.
Doug says, "Why would you stay for anything over 1.5 million? Because he's doing a pretty good job. He's going to get offers from other jobs, from other schools.
Yeah,
do you go and end your career? I mean, Kansas is a really tough job, man. If you get to 500, it's like freaking major victory. I don't know. I don't know. It wouldn't be 1.5 million. I would bet on myself. Like Dak Prescott. Norvell's base is 625, so I'm guessing 750, 800.
Although Dak kind of did, but he kind of didn't. He could have bet on himself coming back and taking the franchise tag again and getting an even bigger deal.
I know.
When the money goes up next year.
Which, by the way, I thought I had an instant reaction. We went to break, and I'm like, God Almighty, we are obnoxious in sports talk radio. My first thing when I saw a guy got $160 million, and this was before I knew how much was guaranteed, I was like, man, I wish he had held out and really gone for it. Like he got a deal where he's getting $40 million a year, and I'm like, really should have made a run at the big money. Like, what? It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I understand why you wanted a contract and why you wanted a guarantee, and especially coming off an injury, the security obviously very important. But if you're betting on yourself, I think you just take the franchise again. Say, I'm definitely leaving next year. The salary cap goes up next year, more and more TV money, and I'll probably get paid a lot more. So let's go do it. Now you might have that thought in your back of your head if you get hurt again. Next year the guarantee is like $8 million. I don't want to take that chance. But I mean, I certainly get why somebody would want security in his position.
Yeah. All right, let's wrap it up. Appreciate it, everybody. We're back tomorrow with the crew, I think. I don't know. We confirm in the morning the crew from the AA meeting, and Adam had a long day, so we'll let him go, and I appreciate you tuning in, and that'll do it. So we have a lot more of these coming up this week and a lot of good shows around the Mountain West Conference Tournament, the Pac-12 Tournament, and I'm running out of stuff to promote, so. Call up our buddies at Battleborn. Justin, 570-9000. We'll see you tomorrow.